This is Duke University.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the demo day for the 15th annual Duke Startup Challenge. My name is Adam Berkman. I'm a second-year law student just across the way here, and we're really excited to have you here today.
Hi guys, and my name is Tushar Kirtani. I'm also I'm a second-year MBA student, and I also graduated from Pratt in 2005. So we're really we're excited to have you guys all here. We're your MCs for the evening, and we're going to hear from some of Duke's best and brightest entrepreneurs in just a little bit.
But before we get started, we just want to give you a brief introduction to what the Duke Startup Challenge is all about, what tonight's agenda is, and then we'll get to the teams. But first, let's talk a little bit about what the Duke Startup Challenge is. We're a campus-wide organization who draws from some of the most entrepreneurial-minded students, alumni, faculty, and staff from the med school, the Pratt School, Fuqua, the law school, all across campus. We're inviting folks to come and participate in this competition. And what we provide, we try to help out with some support, resources, feedback from the judges that helps to build these companies into more polished products. And we also, through some of the prize money that we offer, help with some seed capital for some of these companies as well. The goal for us is to build entrepreneurial spirit here at Duke University. Our goal is to support the entrepreneurs and make this one of the premier schools in the Southeast for folks that are considering entrepreneurship.
So a little bit about the Duke Startup Challenge. It's a year-long competition. As you guys can see, there are multiple rounds, and today we're really in the middle of it with the demo day. So there are also Indiegogo campaigns as well as idea summaries, which all of the teams have participated in so far. And so different from last year's is the fact that we will be having a, sorry, can you guys hear me if I don't use the mic? Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna turn that off, my bad. So different than other years past is that we're giving teams the opportunity to work on their ideas and companies over the summer. And then in August, we'll have them come and present all of their progress that has been made and pitch for the grand prize of $50,000.
One thing that we are doing differently this year is we're having teams engage in Indiegogo campaigns. And what that is, it's a crowdfunding platform that's online that allows anyone, anywhere to be able to donate money to capital contributions to these companies that are building. And all of our teams that are here today have made an Indiegogo campaign page. So be sure, and those are all going to be live until March 8th. So be sure to check out online if you see a team here that you like, that looks promising. Be sure to go to their Indiegogo campaign page. Check that out. Consider throwing a little money their way so they can help continue building their business. One quick fact, we've only had Indiegogo campaigns open for about a month, and our teams have already raised over $40,000 through that avenue. So that's a good chunk of change for some of our young student teams.
So today, like the format we'll be having today is the demo day teams will have a 3-minute pitch, followed by a 1-minute Q&A. And then at the end of this, we're going to have an audience choice award. So we'll get into the details of how that'll work later, but to participate in the audience choice award, you guys have to be here and present at the end of the presentation. We're also going to have a judges award for $8,000 that we will announce on March 9th. And so what's going to happen between now and then is that for the judges who aren't here in person, we will have the recording, the live stream, and everybody will have an opportunity to take a look at all of the work that you guys have done and really evaluate your ideas holistically before the final vote.
And just a quick note, we want to give a big thank you to all the judges. It's a huge alumni network. We've got 500 judges participating in the competition this year. So they're entrepreneurs, investment professionals, attorneys, folks from all around the country who have taken time out of their busy schedules to be able to provide feedback for our teams that are participating. So could we just get a round of applause for our judges?
Similarly, we have a lot of sponsors. We want to thank GM, iContact, Smith Anderson, and ShareFile. So if we could also just give them a hand.
All right, well, that's our portion of the show. So let's get this on the road. Up first tonight is True Fish. Let's hear it for True Fish.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Roxanne Aninga. This is my partner, Gabriella Enhauser, and we're here to represent True Fish. Let's see by a show of hands how many people in the audience like to eat seafood. Yeah, pretty much everyone. And unfortunately, I'd like to tell you that at some point, very likely, that fish you ate wasn't what you thought it was. In fact, recent studies show that up to 30% of seafood sold in the United States is mislabeled. And this is exactly what True Fish wants to stop.
Roxanne has experience working in ocean conservation.
And Gabriella has led projects promoting fair and sustainable seafood trade.
So together we both understand the complexities of the international seafood trade, and we want to work to improve its sustainability. Our team of advisors includes 2 technical co-founders who are world experts in seafood traceability and genetic testing, and we also have 3 general business advisors. What True Fish wants to do is work to prevent the risks of seafood fraud by creating a certifiable brand that is going to be recognized both by vendors and by consumers. Our solution is a subscription-based DNA model that allows our customers to actively monitor their seafood sources and discourages deceptive vendors. So seafood fraud occurs when a label misrepresents its content. This is actually illegal and can result in fines and even jail time. This practice also creates problems for consumer health and can also prevent informed consumers from making sustainable choices. However, this problem is actually pretty common, and the FDA only is able to monitor 0.05% of the seafood for fraud. Current initiatives in the private sector work at a small scale, are very expensive, and are thus used only for isolated events.
True Fish offers a cost-effective alternative. Here's how it works. Our customers subscribe to the annual service, and then each month they select products for sampling. These samples are sent to the lab for DNA processing. And the samples are compared to a standardized species and then checked back against their label. Those results are sent back to our customers who can use that information to identify fraudulent suppliers. They can also use this brand, the True Fish brand, to signify that they are adhering to a higher quality standard for their products. In the United States, consumers spend about $70 billion a year on seafood. Our target market is any business that buys or sells seafood. So we will target distributors, seafood restaurants, as well as retail grocers. Altogether, we'll have about 700,000 potential customers.
So I think we're going to have to switch to questions.
Okay, and so we just want to say, with your help, we'd like to make the world a safer place to eat fish. Thank you so much for your attention.
So let's take a question from the audience. Sure.
I'm just wondering what's the additional cost that would be associated with this product compared to what it costs to buy fish today?
Oh, it doesn't cost anything to the consumer. So it's going to be it'll be a cost to our customers who will generally have it fall under their risk management umbrella.
And actually, for the current services that are being offered out there right now, our price is much lower, up to 20% less. Because by offering through a subscription service, we can offer a lower price.
All right, great. Let's have one more minute. So up next, we have the team from 501 Carbon. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hi, I'm Andrew. This is Adrian and Hassan. We're 501 Carbon. since we only have 3 minutes, I'm going to try to go as fast as possible while still maintaining relevancy, I guess. So 501 Carbon, we're a nonprofit organization that was founded a little under a year ago, currently headquartered right in Durham, 3 Duke students. Sorry. Okay, three Duke students, and our focuses are raising climate finance for renewable energy projects, eventually building those projects, and then taking the projects and chopping up the revenues and investing in new projects, and so on and so forth. Just as a side note, we are partners with multiple renewable energy and carbon offset project development companies, and have received a relatively significant amount of funding to date in our endeavors. So what the problem we're trying to address is global energy poverty. Basically, a significant amount of the world doesn't have access to electricity or clean cooking facilities, and cannot get to areas where these facilities are available. So our solutions are providing efficient solar-powered cook stoves and animal waste biogas digesters that provide energy, cut down on indoor air pollution, and generally help develop these rural areas economically. So, in terms of the voluntary carbon market, we represent a significant difference from the current state of companies, fitting in the middle of the carbon market between the project developers and the end buyers. This is 501carbon.org, which has been put together to capture B2C, business to client customers, and is a launch pad for all conversations with business clients. So 501 Carbon is designed to bring individual consumers, businesses who want to create caring community images and develop sustainable narratives, and rural areas in developing countries and renewable energy project developers all together. Each one of these stakeholders have relevant impacts, but they're not really all working together. So,
Okay, we'll move to questions now.
Sorry, I got caught up with the microphone.
Does anybody have a question for 501 Carbon? All right, well, let's have a round of applause.
Yeah,
Right.
just a quick note about the microphones for the YouTube recording. It's very helpful to have the audio, so it's not just relying on the video to pick it up. So that's why we're kind of giving people the mic.
Okay, up next we have Stuff Board.
Throughout history, people have needed a place to come together to buy, sell, and trade their stuff. Even today, when you get pretty much anything through e-commerce, these face-to-face institutions have persisted. Why? 3 reasons. It's easier to trust somebody when you know them a little bit. It's hard to mail a couch. And it's fun to make the best deal you can with the few dollars you have in your pocket. Today, the U.S. aftermarket goods industry is $26.4 billion. About 43% of that is you, me, and 60 million monthly users of online classified ad search engines. Together with 25,000 resale outlets, we'll spend about $2.7 billion to advertise in this marketplace, or about 10% of what we make from it. I'm going to come back to that 10% in just a minute because there's a problem. Our marketplace is broken. It hasn't moved with us as we become more social, more local, and more mobile, and deception and fraud have been a result. We need a marketplace that grows with us, that embraces the technologies that have become part of our daily lives so that we can go back to business as usual. Stuffboard is the new business as usual. Currently under development, Stuffboard has a three-part value proposition. The first is social. The digital marketplace is more than just buying and selling. It's talking, it's sharing information about who has the best deals and who is a trustworthy person to deal with. Stuffboard will deliver on this with a full complement of social sharing and user ranking tools. Local. Local used to mean, how far am I willing to travel from my home zip code? Today it also means, what's around me right now as I go through my normal day? It means where I live, where my kids go to school, where I work, where I worship, where I teach tap dance. But if you're trying to find something special and want to cast a wide net for it, or if you're just looking for something convenient within your own group, Stuffboard will help you find it. Mobile. In mobile web traffic, about 3 to 5% has a growth over the last 4 years. And so we're building Stuffboard from the ground up with mobile in mind. But more importantly is that the Stuffboard app will reduce the friction involved with getting an ad online. If you've got something to sell, just point, shoot, tag, and post it to your social media accounts where all roads lead back to Stuffboard. How will we make money? This is the important slide. So in 3 years, we think we will have captured about 13% of the digital classified ad market with about 211 million page views each month. Half of our users will be selling to the other half and making an average of $380 a year doing so. Now, remember that 10%. This means that we can charge about $2.99 a month.
I think we have to move to questions.
Okay, thanks.
Does anybody have questions for Stuffboard? In the back.
So how do you generate your estimate of 13% of the entire market? How did you get to that number?
How do I get the estimate of?
13% penetration.
13% penetration. It's based on general S-curves of user adoption for other social media websites. And you can see this with places like Nextdoor. They've had this sort of adoption rate. Our top of the market range is about 30 million, we think. And so it's just a natural progression to get up there.
All right, great. Let's have a hand. Stuffboard. Up next is Rangeland Solutions.
All right. Hello, my name is Taylor Tully. I'm the Executive Director of Rangeland Solutions, which is a social business that works with pastoralists. So today, the livestock sector is a major global player with wide-ranging social, economic, and environmental impacts. Worldwide, livestock production provides livelihoods for 1 billion of the world's poor, while representing approximately 40% of global agricultural GDP. However, livestock production is also a significant driver of environmental degradation. This is of particular concern in developing countries like Kenya, where the livestock sector represents 12% of national GDP. In the arid and semi-arid lands of Kenya, the livestock sector provides roughly 95%, or provides livelihoods for 95% of the pastoralists and employs approximately 10 million people. However, pastoralists in arid and semi-arid lands face environmental challenges as 97% of the land is degraded. In addition, the industry is dominated by small-scale actors, resulting in inefficiencies and pastoralists' inability to access capital, markets, and services like vet care. So my company, Rangeland Solutions, is an innovative social business that works with pastoralists and trains them in holistic management. This unique approach has been shown to rehabilitate degraded land, thereby increasing land productivity and generating significantly higher rates of beef production. Working through a community-based field staff, Rangeland Solutions partners with pastoralist groups to form pastoralist production groups. Then Rangeland Solutions works with these groups and provides them financing, training, and the support to implement holistic management at no cost. In addition, Rangeland Solutions will help these pastoralists to market their livestock in terminal markets so they can get higher prices. In exchange, Rangeland Solutions will acquire the rights to graze their cattle on the lands of these pastoralist groups free of charge. With this approach, Rangeland Solutions will be able to take or make back the initial investments and share in the benefits of the improved livestock yields. So the management team at Rangeland Solutions has over 30 years of experience in the livestock sector and working with pastoralists. The team is highly committed to producing a more sustainable livestock production system. The business is very high capital intensive. However, we expect to generate high returns on investment. Based on our projections, we expect to see positive gross profits in the first year, and to generate positive operating profits in the second year. In addition, we expect to see significant social and environmental returns. So to date, we're registered as a 501c3 in the United States. We'll be registered in Kenya by the end of this month. And so far, we've raised enough funds to fully launch our pilot project, which we plan to do in March. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Questions?
Questions for Rangeland Solutions?
What standards and specs are you using for your best management practices?
Best management practice is holistic management is developed by Alan Savory, so it's an established form of rangeland management. So we'll be using that form of rangeland management.
You going to be doing any soils testing or soil science or anything like that while you're there?
We haven't developed an environmental or evaluation and monitoring process or program yet, but that's kind of one of our plans to demonstrate our intended impacts.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Let's hear it from Rangeland Solutions. Up next is Towel Burner.
Good evening, my name is Jeff and I'm a co-founder for Towel Burner. Towel Burner solves two problems. First, the gym towel service that we have all come to love in our local gym facilities is being threatened. Why? Because people like to walk off with their gym towels at the end of their workouts, and they're not supposed to. This costs gyms a lot of money, $3,000 to $5,000 a year on average. We solve that problem, and we solve it while meeting somebody else's need. Advertisers are constantly looking for new and unique ways to reach their target market. Myself, along with Jake here and another co-founder, Air Force officers, and an expert advisor board, one advertising expert and one gym expert, we bring you the Towel Burner solution. We print ads on gym towels. Our advertisers pay us to do so. We hand them to gyms for free. They wash the towels, provide them to their customers, and at the end of the 4-month campaign, we resupply them with more towels. We wipe the towel expense off our gym partners' books while offering our advertisers a way to reach a very valuable demographic, the gym goer. We also offer them an unbelievable amount of frequency time talking to that demographic, over 50 hours of ad exposure per viewer. Our towel advertisements provide utility. They don't just interrupt, they integrate with the workout. And we can measure our towel advertisements through QR codes and customer surveys. We're currently testing our product in 2 small independent gyms, but we've received positive feedback, i.e., yes, we'll work with you in the near future. And we've also been networked with a chairman of the Rex Roundtable for Gym Executives. Eddie Talk likes our idea so much that he is personally pitching Towel Burner to 100 gyms in April with the realistic expectation to pitch to 1,000 gyms very soon. We're working with small businesses, but also talking to big brands that can afford to advertise in multiple locations to scale Towel Burner. The answers are yes, and we're excited for it. It makes us confident that we can get the big guys on board. Our numbers are positive. What makes them happen? $6 in revenue per towel, and it only costs us $1.38 to make. Towel Burner's taken off. Questions, please. Thank you.
Of what Towel Burner actually looks like in the real world. So take some tabs down. If you want to take them home, feel free. Unfortunately, we don't have enough for everybody. But, sense.
Jake's gonna hold it up for the camera.
Cheap version of Vanna White.
All right, let's get a question from the audience for Towel Burner.
Yes.
It's more of a sustainability question. It seems like a lot of rapid replacement of a product. Do you have any sort of sustainable production model in mind?
Absolutely. When we pick the towels up, they go to animal humane societies. They go to anybody that'll accept the towels that can pull value from it. And at the end, when their shelves are full, they go to recycling facilities.
Oh, sorry, that'll be it. Thank you guys very much. All right, our next guest is actually going to join us remotely from, I believe, California tonight.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to present Fingo remotely. Fingo means let fingers go. Next, please. So the product. Fingo is a new human interaction system. It has a sensor device and a set of software. It performs short 2D and 3D motion detection, trace 10 fingers movements with high precision and small latency. So let's watch a video. Can I play the video?
Yep, go to the next.
On the video, you can see how we use 3D structure to conceive and transform into touch pad.
Okay, it's all finished.
Okay, can you skip the next slide and go to the commercial application?
Okay. Commercial
So the
application.
commercial application. Here shows a few commercial applications. First, it can be used as access PC and TV, replace a mouse with remote control. Second, Fingo can be used controller to multimedia education, conferencing, digital whiteboard. Third, Fingo can add interaction commercial digital signage. Next, please.
Anli, we're actually going to have to go to questions now. Your 3 minutes are up. So we're going to take a question from the audience, and I'll repeat it back to you, okay?
Okay.
Do we have a question from the audience for Fingo? Over here.
Sales has something similar to this right now.
What are your competitors, Anli? Does anyone have anything similar to this right now?
Yes. I have a slide on it. It's page 10. If you can go to that page.
I'm not going to be able to find it. Why don't you just tell us a little bit?
So there are a few in the market. First one is TimeSense. It's a technology provider for Kinect. Second one is Leap Ocean. Third one is called Static.
Okay, great. Thanks for your participation, and I appreciate your patience with the technical delays. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next up we have Iris PGX.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna. And my name is Nicole. We are Iris PGX, and we are here to personalize patient care through pharmacogenetics. Michael Adams Conroy passed away when he was only 9 years old. He died from an adverse drug reaction due to the common antidepressant Prozac, yet his death could have been preventable through a simple analysis of his DNA.
Little Michael is not the only victim of adverse drug reactions. According to the Journal of American Medical Association, 2.2 million serious incidents occur each year. This includes over 100,000 deaths and 1.9 million hospitalizations. Our goal at Iris PGX is to prevent tragedies caused by these adverse drug reactions, which place a toll of $32 billion each year on US hospitals alone. So why does this happen? Because of our genetics, a drug, the same drug that works for me, may not work for you. In fact, Alan Roses from GSK said that half of patients derive little to no benefit from some of the most expensive drugs prescribed to them.
We have a solution. At Iris, we are creating technologies to ensure that patients receive the most effective drug regimens suited to their genetics. Our cloud-based software-as-a-service platform, nicknamed Iris, provides physicians with the clinical decision support to personalize patient care through pharmacogenetics. Iris gathers scientific data on drug-drug and drug-gene interactions, as well as a patient's genetic information and medical history to predict a patient's risk for an adverse drug reaction. With our technology, we hope to, 1, standardize the use of pharmacogenetics in drug prescription, and 2, reduce patient death and hospitalizations associated with adverse drug reactions.
We are adopting a business-to-business model serving the 5,500 hospitals and 230,000 physician groups in the US. Furthermore, the US health IT market is expected to grow by $7 billion by 2017. Although in the first 2 years, we don't expect to make any revenue, but by year 2019, we expect to make $55 million.
If we win the Duke Startup Challenge, the $50,000 will contribute towards product development and FDA assessment of our technology. Our team at Duke University is supported by a board of advisors that includes scientists, medical technology executives, and serial entrepreneurs.
So the question now is, will you join us on our mission to transform patient care and save lives? Thank you, everyone. And remember, we are Iris PGX, and we are here to personalize patient care through pharmacogenetics.
Yes, hand in the back.
So one of the very common drugs that has patients that respond differently is warfarin, it's a blood thinner. And right now there are clinical tests to see whether someone's going to need a higher or a lower dose than average. But very few hospitals offer this, certainly not routinely. So how would you pitch this to a hospital to say, you know what, this is actually something that would be really valuable to your bottom line?
That's a good question. So right now, there are multiple drugs, and warfarin is definitely one of them, where doses have to be adjusted depending on the individual. So right now, there is no standard method for warfarin because it's individualized. That is probably a reason why hospitals don't probably standardize it, because they have to adjust for each specific patient. That's why there's no standard method. That's why genetics coming to play will help.
In addition, if you conduct a genetic test, you can determine if a person is a high metabolizer or low metabolized warfarin. If the patient also takes additional drugs on top of that, how are you going to know what's the right dosage and what are the right drugs for that person to take? What happens when you consider the different drug gene interactions? You can't solve any of these problems unless you apply computational biology.
So up next, we have Health E.
Hi, I'm Alex Dow.
And I'm Prathiba Jaturu, and we're healthy. Most people don't really know what's in their food, nor do we really think about it. The fact is that we focus so much more on the nutrition facts, such as the fats, carbs, and proteins, that we're missing a main thing. We don't look at the ingredients list. our startup is seeking to change the way that we look at food. The truth is that the FDA and USDA do not fully regulate the harmful chemicals in our food industry, and there's a multi-standard among food industries all over the world. For example, some chemicals that are completely banned in some countries are widely used in others. Kraft mac and cheese is a perfect example of the situation. Kraft has a chemical called yellow number 5, which gives the product its yellow color. And yellow number 5 is banned in Australia, Austria, Norway, and New Zealand. In European countries, products that have yellow number 5 have to have a label that says may cause adverse effects on the attention and activity of children. However, our FDA only goes as far as to label the products that have yellow number 5 in the ingredients list. But that's the problem. No one really looks at the ingredients list, and consumers are not educated enough to understand how these chemicals are detrimental to our health.
Which brings us to the importance of our startup, Healthy. Healthy is a mobile application and website that provides a simple tool for consumers to make better food choices. Healthy uses this camera of your smartphone to scan the barcode of any product and will warn you if any chemical is potentially harmful. The true power of Healthy, though, lies in how the user can personalize the app to suit their own dietary needs. For example, if you have an allergy or diabetes, the app will not only warn you if one of the ingredients is potentially harmful, but will also warn you if the manufacturing process of the product could trigger your illness. Likewise, vegans and vegetarians can also set their own preferences to meet their dietary needs. After scanning the barcode, the app will also give healthier alternatives. We as a company will certify every company that provides healthier alternatives and to make sure that all of them meet our stringent requirements. We want the voices of the good guys to be heard as well, especially local stores and farmers markets. Here you can see our long-run and short-run expenses, primarily for IP and server costs. Our team has already developed a preliminary app interface, functional for Android app users, and a preliminary database. Here you can see the logic overflow of our server and app design. We will have two sources of revenue. One, a free version with ads, and a paid version with no ads for $1.99. We based our expected revenue on expected eCPM and download rates.
The Kraft mac and cheese story doesn't end here. Thanks to a petition started by a blogger named Vanny Hari, finally Kraft is taking out yellow number 5 from its products. Our goal here is simple, to educate the consumers and to hold companies accountable for the chemicals that they're putting into their products. Healthy is a simple and quick tool to use, for consumers to use, and it is powerful enough to revolutionize the way that we look at food. Thank you.
A question from the audience for Health E.
So how will you manage the data from new products coming on the market all the time?
Okay, so that's a good question. We already have a database. We use optical recognition software by just going through all of the products in the local supermarket. But users, if they come across a product that happens to not be in their database, they can take a picture of the ingredients list and the product name, and it'll automatically be added to our database. And we already have a separate database for most of the major ingredients found in food products with their side effects and health effects.
Thank you, guys. Up next is Sora.
Hi, so I wanted to start this presentation off today with the following note. No other sector has experienced the same explosive growth as the computer and video game industry. Michael Gallagher, president of the Entertainment Software Association. With 68% of American households playing video games, we can see that video games have become a very integral part of our society, as opposed to the niche market it occupied about 20 years ago. So what's the problem? Well, here's the problem. This old gaming laptop cost me about $1,000 3 years ago. I mean, at the time, it was a decent gaming machine. It got a good graphics card, 4 whole gigabytes of RAM. I know that's unbelievable. And so not only was it expensive, but using it was also a pain as well, too. I mean, this thing is huge, incredibly heavy, and has no battery life. Yuck. So after that, I switched to a laptop that's way more practical. Something like this. But it can't play games, and that's a problem.
And this is where Sora comes in. The whole idea of Sora is to create a platform on which games can be streamed on a remote server, kind of like Netflix. Just one difference. Instead of movies, we have a whole library of games, all of which are just one click of a button away. You offload all your resources to our server, and your computer only serves as a thin client connection to that server, which means you can play from any type of computer you like. Maybe an old gaming laptop that you purchased several years ago, like the one in David's hands right now. Or it could be Linux, Mac laptop that doesn't come with a lot of gaming support. And it gets better. Sora also revolutionizes the way we consume and purchase games. So instead of spending $40 on a game that may or may not turn out to be as good as you expected, you can subscribe to our service, which provides you with playing time that can be freely allocated whichever way you want. So if you spend 15 minutes on a game and decide you don't like it, simply move on to the next one that may interest you more. Our cloud gaming service grants you unprecedented flexibility, total control of your gaming time, and unshackles you from any sort of constant downloading or installation.
So this is what the Sora prototype currently looks like. I mean, normally you'd select a game, press the launch button, and it'd go open full screen. But I wanted to draw your attention to the graph over here. So first of all, the thing about gamers is that they demand a great response time from their input to the server. The red line over here, which is kind of hard to see, but the red line over here represents the average latency between an HD TV and a video game console. So anything beneath this line should feel great. As you can see, Sora constantly outperforms this standard. Lastly, we'll use servers that specialize in video game encoding streams that result in fantastic video quality, all underneath the bandwidth of the average American internet. And yeah, thank you for your time, and that'll be it.
Questions?
So, you ready to take any questions? So you had your hand up first.
How do you deal with the copyright laws and the cost of the copyright laws?
Right. So for the licensing issue, we actually want to adopt a method where we acquire the titles through a very low initial cost, and then we enter into a revenue sharing agreement through the title term. And at the end of each title term, we have two options. We can either return the title to the original developer or publisher, or we can purchase the title entirely. The upfront cost that I just mentioned before, it could be capitalized, and it could be amortized over the term of the title that we, of the life of this asset.
And I believe that's it. Thank
Let's
you.
hear it for Sora. All right, next up we have Pro Coupon. Let's pull up your slides and we'll get you going.
Hey everyone, my name is Jonathan, and today I'm going to present to you Pro Coupon. So, as you may know, we Latin Americans are lazy, we love shopping, but most importantly, we love shopping with discounts. But the thing is, as lazy as we are, we hate to search for information. So what is the problem? We get so much information, we get ads everywhere, anytime, and it's difficult to use those when we really want to use those. So for the retailers, they want to know who are the customers, what do they want, when do they want to shop. Okay, so that's the problem we actually solve. We solve everything. So, suppose you get into the shopping mall, you walk through the store, so for example Macy's, okay, and when you walk through the store, you get a pop-up, an alert in your cell phone, in your smartphone, saying you have a 20% on blue shirts. So you get into the store, you take the blue shirt, you go to the cashier, take the shirt, and you get a discount. You just show the coupon in your cell phone. So basically, we are trying to expand. We launched in Uruguay, that little country in South America. We launched last year, September, and we are trying to expand to Chile, Brazil, and Argentina next year. We are going to have a market. We have a market totaling about $2 billion. So we got a very diverse team at the beginning when we entered into the Duke MBA. It's very diverse with 5 MBAs and 1 Master in Marketing. And this is just, we wanted to show the look and feel of the website and the app that we made in July last year. And we were the #1 in the top ranking of downloads at the day of launching. Now it's actually Facebook and WhatsApp, so we should put just Facebook because of the acquisition. And just to show a little information about how it's important And what was important for us, we got 6,300 users with more than 450 stores registered. And we are going to get like 30 million in the third year. We get money by charging the retailers $1 or $2 per coupon we use. So actually we launched in September 2013, and our plan is to expand to Argentina in April, then Chile, and then Brazil. And we need money actually for doing the iBeacon system in order to get the geofencing and for expanding the sales and marketing team. Thank you very much.
Can you search for coupons, or do you have to actually be in a store for it to?
Yeah, so you can be in your home, or you can be inside the mall. You can just search, or it show you all the stores that are around you, or you can search Abercrombie and you will see if Abercrombie has a coupon or not. So it's for lazies, it's simple as that.
Great, thanks, Jonathan. All right, up next, we have Exon from.
Hello, this is my invention, a watch in front of swim goggle. So you can see your time when you're swimming. And it provides instant feedback for a swimmer. So one thing you may be wondering, how about the drag? Yes, it has drag. So it's for training, not for competition. And then according to our calculation, actually the drag is very small. These two curves almost overlapped. One is from the traditional swim goggle, the other is our goggle. So overlap means that it's negligible. We test our swim goggle, and Olympia Elvis Barons and the swim team at University of Kentucky takes our swim goggle now. And we are trying to contact the swimming team at Duke University, our school. We contact the manufacturer in China. They have a lot of machines, so it's not a big deal for us. How about the cost? Actually, the watch and the swim goggle, just $3. And to manufacture this nose piece, there's a one-time cost, probably $3K. To secure our patent, maybe $10K. How about the market? Actually, I don't know. I'm an inventor. So if you are interested in our product, welcome to join us. And how about the price? The traditional swim goggle is just $20 to $30. I hope we can see it at $30. Here's our plan. So first, as I said, welcome to join us if you are a business guy. And we first need to try to improve this design, and then contact the manufacturer. And then at step 3, we can either license our patent to the big company, like Speedo, if they like, or we can continue to promote our product first at the local area and then at the larger area. So how to promote? Because it's very cheap. We just give to some local gym or to someone we don't know on the social media. And we can see our product on the website or on a local store. So with the competitors, the heads-up display like Google Glass is very cool. It's super cool, but it's very expensive. The traditional swim goggle just there's no instant feedback. You can't see it. So to sum up, big market, low cost, and patent pending. That's our swim goggle. Thank you.
Questions for X in front?
Swimmer, does your goggle affect like flip turns and like side turns when you're doing long distance swimming?
No, actually we have many tastes. Actually, that swimmer, our chief swimmer, Norm's here. Yeah, I have a very good demonstration on the YouTube. If you check our website, he's very cool.
Thank you. I All right, our next competitor is Staros. Richard Essig is also going to be participating remotely. I believe he's coming to us today from Philadelphia. So if we've got the sound working.
Say something, Richard, make sure we can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Good.
Yes, we've got sound. All right, well, we'll flip over to your slides here. And why don't you go ahead and get going?
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for joining, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there today, but we'll go ahead and get started here. My name is Richard Essig. I'm the founder of Staros. Staros is an educational technology company that's focused on improving academic performance and classroom management. Next slide, please. The problem. So U.S. education stinks. You know, the OECD and in cooperation with PISA in 2012 showed us that the U.S. ranked 30th in math, 23rd in science, and 19th in reading. These scores haven't changed over the past 14 years. Next slide, please. So how can we help? Staros is a web-based electronic points reward system that will optimize schools' positive behavioral rewards programs. In 2010, Harvard University showed us that these positive behavioral rewards programs are effective and they increase academic performance. That's why nearly every school in the country has adopted one. Next slide, please. So Staros aspires to convert these rudimentary forms of currencies that schools currently use and convert them into an electronic format. We want to take tickets, certificates, fake money, stars, and convert that to an electronic format, and students can use their Staros rewards cards to purchase prizes. Next slide, please. Here's how it works. So a teacher would administer points onto a student's account. The student then would take those points using their Staros rewards card and buy certain prizes. The secondary benefit of this program is that we'll have the opportunity to collect data. And with that data, we can empirically investigate how students are doing, as well as how schools are performing. And also, we'll be able to look at a variety of different rewards programs and find out which ones are working well. Next slide, please. So the business model, we intend to charge per child per year, annual fees ranging from $6 to $12, and a one-time registration and training fee of $1,500 to $2,500 per school. We'll be evaluated by looking at the change of academic performance, as well as student behaviors. Next slide, please. Market size is very large. Our advisory board's feedback between grades 4 through 12, which gives us 33 million students in the US, which gives us an estimated market size between $200 and $400 million. Next slide, please. Our financial projections, we hope by 2018 we can acquire up to 700,000 students, which would give us a rough ballpark top line revenue of around $6 million. Next slide, please. Our competition, Class Dojo, a rewards program that's intended for younger audiences, generated over 3.5 million users in over 30 countries in a matter of 3 years and just raised $1.5 million. In the UK, Vivo Miles. Vivo Miles is the identical business and revenue model as Staros. They're UK based, but since 2008 have generated 1.5 million users, and 96% of schools says it increases academic performance and 94% retention rate. Next slide, please. So the small but mighty team, myself, life science commercial leader, worked in marketing, sales, business development, and R&D. And I've joined with Jason Garber, a software developer that founded a software development company out of Philadelphia. Next slide, please. So where are we? We've built the management team, the advisory board, we have committed pilot accounts, and we've built our wireframes. Now we need to build the prototype and launch to our soft launch accounts. Next slide, please.
Hey, Richard, actually, we're going to have to move to questions.
Okay.
Question in the back.
Now, I'm not a teacher myself, but I know a couple, and they're very, very busy people. How much extra work would it be for a teacher to work Staros into their workflow?
So the question, Richard, is teachers are really busy people. How much extra work is it to work Staros into their regular workflow?
Yeah, it's a great question. So first of all, understand that teachers are already administering rewards today. They're writing things on tickets and giving them to students. So there's already effort and time put into running the rewards program. So really what this is going to do is just integrate into their computer. We intend to have a white glove app so that it seamlessly blends in with their grading system or whatever system that they're using. But it will actually reduce time instead of giving them more time, having them spend more time with their current rewards program.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a round of applause for Staros. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Okay, our final competitor this evening is SF Robotics.
Hi guys, I'm Alex Brown, and these are my co-founders Sarush and Fabio, and we are SF Robotics.
and we're bringing personal robotics to the world. And our huge vision is to have the personal robot as prevalent today as the personal computer. We got to start somewhere. Right now, hobbyists, educators, and researchers would love to get their hands on a robot to work with, but it's really difficult for them for two reasons. First, the hardware is expensive and inaccessible to consumers. I have here 3 of the top humanoid robots on the market today. One by Boston Dynamics is not available to consumers at all. The other 2 have really hefty price tags, and as you can imagine, that's out of the range of the typical consumer. The other problem is that the software is not up to par. So even if you could afford this nice fancy robot, I can't really do that much yet. It's limited to specific trained tasks that have been programmed in by the manufacturer. There's no app store, there's no SDK, there's no standardized operating system. So it's really impossible for developers to start developing their own apps. We're going to solve both of these problems. First, our first prototype is going to use open source 3D printed hardware. So we found designs online, there's a thriving community around them, and you can see a picture on the right of what the finished product is going to look like. When you build our robot this way, it's going to cost $2,000 to $2,500. That means that anybody can print out the robot on their own for about that cost. We're also going to sell finished models for around $3,000 to $5,000. That's orders of magnitude cheaper than what exists in the industry today. To solve the software problem, we're going to develop an open source SDK, an operating system, and a suite of software tools so that it makes it really easy for developers to come in and develop applications. We're going to abstract away some of the more complicated parts of robotics, like image recognition and speech processing, to make it even easier. So we're using open source nearly everywhere. We are trying to make money, and we're going to do that by selling a finished hardware model, as I said, to people that might not have a 3D printer, or to people that don't want to spend the time printing their own. We're going to create an app store where developers can easily distribute to any hardware that's running our operating system, and eventually we can take 10 to 20% off the top there. We've been working on our prototype for about 1 month, and I'll show you a video towards the end of what that looks like. The 3 of us are graduating in the spring, and we're going to move to the Silicon Valley area to keep working on this full time. Our team is made up of myself, Fabio Berger, and Sarush Jamalipour. All of us have relevant education. We have experience in technology and entrepreneurship. Fabio and Sarush just sold their first company, and we believe that we're really poised to tackle this problem. So finally, this is our baby. We have a picture of our first prototype here. You can see the arm, the forearm, the bicep, the shoulder. We're really excited about the progress that we've made in just 1 month and excited about what the future holds. So thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Thank you. Anyone have questions for SF Robotics?
How much do you sell your model for?
Right. So as I said, it's going to cost us about $2,000 to $2,500. Since it's open source, it means that anybody with a 3D printer can print one out and assemble themselves for about that cost. We're also going to sell our hardware model for around $3,000 to $5,000. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Great. Well, that's our last team for tonight. So let's give a big round of applause to everybody who pitched.
Okay, so this is the portion of the evening when you, the audience, gets to speak. We're going to have live audience voting here. If we can get our PowerPoint back up.
We will.
Okay.
Oh, you want PowerPoint?
Yes. Just to give you a quick overview of how this is going to work, everybody get out your cell phones. This is voting by text, and this is live voting. So only the people that are here physically present in this room are allowed to vote. So don't put this out on Facebook. Don't send it to Twitter. Don't send it by text to your friends. Only people here in the audience. And just to ensure that we actually follow that rule, we're actually going to do a hand count after we take the polling. So how this works, you get your cell phone out. Text, we're going to show on the screen in just a minute. Each team has a code. You're going to text that code to the telephone number 22333. Again, the telephone number is 22333, and the codes will appear on the screen right now.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
If you don't have your phone with you, is there a way to participate? It's unheard of.
I'm not sure that you can. I'm sorry.
All right.
Well.
What about a hand vote?
I can count your hand vote. You come down here and tell me who you want to vote for.
Because I am here.
All right.
Technologically
Write it down.
Yeah, could you, we'll get you to write it on a piece of paper.
You write them down.
Can you make that any bigger by
Yeah, really. A lot bigger.
Yeah.
Is that helpful? All right, so y'all have about a minute to vote, so get out your phones and vote for your favorite team. All right, folks, we've taken a few minutes to tally up the votes. We're going to announce the results of the audience choice winner. I want to say right now that there was a very close tie for third, for second place, I guess. There were 3 teams that had 7 votes. But the winner tonight with 8 votes, SF Robotics. Let's have a hand for them.
So if we could get you guys down
If
here.
you guys
for
want
a
to come up,
photo.
we're going to get a picture.
The other thing is that we just want to remind everybody that the Indiegogo campaigns are still alive, and so to the extent that you saw something that you liked tonight, please seek them out and contribute to their campaigns and help them realize the visions that they've worked so hard to bring forward to us today.
And thanks again for everybody being here. Just a reminder, this could be you guys next year. If you're out in the audience there, deadline for next year's competition is at the end of October of this year. So if you've got a good idea, make sure to go to our website, check out dukestartupchallenge.org and submit an idea summary next fall. Thanks again for being here, and everybody have a good night. Hey, congratulations, guys.